Donald Trump has repeatedly downplayed the threat of the coronavirus, and continued to do so after his diagnosis, calling it a blessing from God that he was infected and telling Americans, "Don't be afraid" of the virus. Donald Trump has also repeatedly spread misinformation about the virus's threat to children, saying falsely that children are unlikely to catch it or are almost immune. They are not. Hundreds of thousands of children in the U.S. have gotten the coronavirus this year. Over 24 people surrounding Donald Trump and the White House have tested positive for the virus in the last 10 days. Several of them, including Donald Trump, Melania Trump and 2 Republican senators, attended the Sept. 26 Rose Garden event for Amy Coney Barrett's nomination to the Supreme Court, where guests flouted public health guidance by not wearing masks or social distancing. The U.S. continues to lead the world in confirmed COVID-19 cases and deaths, with over 7.8 million cases and 216,000 dead so far. Related. When Charles Barkley recently guested on Rowan University's speaker series, he was surprised by a visit from former Philadelphia 76ers employee Alan Lumpkin. Lumpkin worked for decades with the organization and went from ballboy to executive director of team logistics upon his retirement. But Lumpkin wasn't brought to the event to exchange pleasantries with Barkley. He was there to confirm whether Barkley's crazy story about taking showers with his Sixers jersey on was true. "First of all, it's 100% true," said Barkley before Lumpkin took the mic. "Like my first 4 or 5 years, we flew commercial. And you had to wash your jersey. You're flying the next morning, so after the game, well, first of all, you went out and find something to eat. You get in the shower, on your jersey, soaping down and just find a place to get it to dry out 'cause you're flying. Player had to be up early the next day 'cause they flew commercial." As Barkley narrated, NBA teams flew commercial back in the day due to high charter costs. But after the Detroit Pistons purchased a BAC 111 plane, dubbed Roundball 1, in 1987 and started flying private, the other teams followed. But before that, Barkley said players had a dilemma when they had back-to-back games because they had to fly out to the next city early in the morning. Because of that, Charles said he used to shower with his jersey on and then let the uniform dry out at the hotel afterwards so that it will be ready for packing when they left early the next day. Crazy as it sounds, considering today's NBA stars have extra uniforms, hotel services, and fly on team planes, back then, the struggle was real, and Lumpkin confirmed Chuck's story to be 100% true. "They thought I was lying," Barkley told the man he affectionately called Lumpy. Who would make up a story like that? Chuck also suffered stiff arms while flying commercial. However, showering with his jersey on wasn't the only byproduct of NBA players flying commercials back in the day. According to Barkley, there were also several instances during his early days when he suffered a stiff arm because, while on the flight, some old lady fell asleep while leaning on his shoulders, and he didn't want to disturb her. "There was a couple of times I would get to a city and I couldn't move my arm and our trainers were like, 'Dude, what happened to your arm? Did you get hurt in the game last night?' I was like, 'No, man. I had this old lady lay on me and I didn't want to be an a-hole. This old sweet lady is leaning on my shoulders for 3 hours. And because I was raised to respect my elders, but man, sometimes, I get to the next city, I can't even lift my damn arm.'" Today, not all NBA teams own airplanes, but all of them fly private with those who don't charter flights. That's an advantage for today's NBA stars, especially if they have back-to-back schedules. Just imagine them going through what Charles talked about. Subscribe our channel for more updates.